is a kleptomaniac who's afraid of getting caught, so she's always used me as a shield. When I was little, she'd hide stolen candy in my pockets, then loudly blame me. Why are you so greedy? Also, your mouth shut at home. To look good to the neighbors, she even stopped buying me formula, stunting my growth. Later, she stole a friend's iPhone from their house, and, when caught, cried, "How could I raise such a bad child?" My friend left me, and I was isolated at school. I ended up working in a factory after graduation. On my wedding day, she slipped my mother-in-law's gold necklace into my purse. When it went missing, she disowned me publicly. "You're still stealing from your mother-in-law, you're a disgrace." The video spread, and everyone called me a gold digger. I jumped into a river in despair. When I opened my eyes, I was back in that supermarket, hearing my mom tell the cashier I stole the candy. I looked up innocently and said sweetly, "Mommy, you put the candy in my pocket. Why are you lying?" The words hung in the air. My mother's face instantly flushed a deep shade of crimson. Without a second thought, she clamped her hand over my mouth. "You naughty girl," she hissed. "How dare you lie after you've been caught?" I looked at her face, twisted with guilt and panic, and a storm of hatred and fury surged within me. This was the face that had ruined my life. I knew why she had this sickness. Growing up, she was convinced my grandparents favored her younger sister, my aunt, giving her all the things that should have been hers. But I remembered clearly, my aunt wore my mother's old clothes and played with her old toys. Despite the reality, this false sense of deprivation clung to her like a toxic vine for her entire life. After she got married, she started shopping compulsively, racking up crippling credit card debt. When my father left, it only got worse. Stealing was the only way she could feel that pathetic, twisted thrill of getting something for nothing. I used to feel sorry for her. I naively believed that if I just grew up, made money, and gave her the best of everything, I could cure her. I was wrong. Every time she was caught, she threw me in front of her as a human shield, without a moment's hesitation. From a few scallions at the market to my mother-in-law's gold necklace at my wedding, she built her own innocence on the ruins of my reputation and my life. I was condemned by everyone, branded a gold digger, and scorned by the world until I finally threw myself into the cold, dark river. This time, I would not be her scapegoat. I couldn't save her, but I had to save myself. The memory faded, and the stares of the people around the checkout counter felt like needles on my skin. I pried her hand from my mouth, and, with all the strength my small body could muster, I shouted in my most childlike voice, "My teacher at daycare said we can't touch anything in the supermarket. We have to wait for the cashier lady to go beep, and for mommy and daddy to pay the money. Otherwise, it's stealing." I looked up at her, my voice filled with faux concern. "Mommy, you're a grown-up. Why don't you listen to the teacher? Why do you have to steal? Look, even Jane is a good girl." My voice cracked with staged fear. "Mommy, the teacher said a policeman will come and take you away if you steal. Please put the candy back." "What if the policeman comes?" I let my eyes well up with tears, perfectly playing the part of a good child terrified by her misbehaving parent. I was giving her one last chance. If she admitted her mistake right then, showed even a flicker of remorse, maybe there was still a sliver of hope for us. But she reacted like a cat whose tail had been stepped on, her voice shrieking. "When did you learn to lie like this? Everyone, be my witness." As she spoke, she poked my forehead with a look of profound disappointment. "Have I starved you? Have I not given you enough? Is this how you repay me, by humiliating me in public?" I wasn't going to give her another chance to perform. My heart was no longer soft. My voice was clear and crisp, not loud, but sharp enough for everyone who was pretending not to listen to hear every word. "Mommy, in your pocket, after you weighed the scallions, you secretly added some expensive garlic to the bag."